What's your favorite video game? It's gotta be something you played for days, weeks even. All right, you got the answer? Perfect. Now, tell me this. Who made it? Little computer people dropped in 1985 for the Commodore 64. You could call it the granddaddy of sim games. The game had no win conditions, no high score. In fact, if you boot up Little Computer People today, what happens? Nothing. Huh? Wait a minute, who's this little fucker? Wait a minute, what? Left? Nothing. I'm getting nothing. Oh, shit. Oh, I can type? Pet the dog. Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. It's gonna happen. Fuck, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so I hop on the internet and checked out the controls for this game. Turns out, I can order this guy a pizza, fill up his water tank, give the dog some food. Shit, one night it got so crazy we cracked a couple bottles of Ciroc and slapped on some P. Diddy. Spit that hydro shit. God damn, Charlie Brown out here getting them pregnant.
Baby, you gonna be making me a turkey sandwich after this.
Check this out.
We have learned that an Activision research team has made contact with tiny beings who live inside computers.
Do you ever have an aquarium? Well, games like Little Computer People ain't no different. You don't move the fish. You can't tell them what to do. But you pop in on them once in a while. Float a little food on top. And why wouldn't you? I don't want my little guy to die. He's not some triangle shooting asteroids. He's a person.
Each looks and behaves somewhat differently, but all exhibit the basic need to eat, drink, and sleep.
Come to think of it, today, there's a lot of games like Little Computer People. And they don't all need pristine graphics to be fun or to capture your imagination. These are your little people, and it's your job to take care of them. So you keep booting it up, if only to put a little smile on the fucker's face. So who made this shit? Well, that would be none other than David Crane. But something you might not know about David Crane. He's kind of a big swinging dick.
I'd fuck him.
So, now let's take David Crane's picture and put it right up there, and side by side, right next to him, let's put somebody you might recognize. Say Miyamoto. You know, the Mario guy. No, the other guy. So there he is. Miyamoto, side by side with David Crane. Except that isn't David Crane. That's just a picture I found on Google image search when I typed in white guy with glasses. Because, let's be honest with ourselves, you have no idea what David Crane looks like. But why? This is David Crane, the man who founded Activision and made Pitfall. That's him! That's the Pitfall guy!
Over the years, I think the game industry has become more regimented. There's less diversity.
So how do we know who this guy is, but not this guy? Come on! That's David Crane! Except that man also isn't David Crane. This is the real David Crane. And the funny thing, you still can't look at that guy in the face and tell me that's him. All right, so that question I asked you, what's your favorite video game?
It is a game called Half-Life.
Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Monster Rancher 2.
Super Mario 64.
It's gotta be the Xenoblade Chronicles series.
Something like Chrono Trigger.
Lately, I would say Stardew Valley.
Uncharted.
Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
See, everybody got an answer to that fucking question. But when you ask them who made it, well, you get two types of people. The fucking nerds.
Mark Laidlaw?
That would be Mr. Fujita-san.
Yep.
Akira Toriyama.
Concerned Ape.
Tetsuya Takahashi, Ko Kojima, and Koji Hayashi.
Oh, holy shit.
Shigeki Morimoto, and also Junichi Masuda, which is the case for a lot of Pokemon games, so not too hard to remember.
All right, I get it. Then you got everybody else who loves the game, but they got no idea who made it. All right, who made Uncharted?
Nathan Drake. It's his life story.
You know, she's not wrong. So right now, my favorite game, 2 Point Hospital. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I got no idea who the fuck made this shit. But if you had to guess, who do you think made it?
I would guess he's a white guy.
Definitely a man.
Definitely a white guy.
Bald, beard, overweight.
White guy with glasses.
I could see glasses.
Glasses.
Glasses. Definitely glasses.
All right, let's see. Maybe 2 white guys with glasses? You fucking nailed it. This is Mark Webley and Gary Carr, and they make video games. Hey guys, can you name the person who made your favorite game right now?
Ooh, right now.
Right now.
We wouldn't know anyone.
We don't know anyone.
We don't do now.
They say they don't do right now, but right now, they're putting out some of the best games in the business. So, I'm gonna take you back and show you where it all started. Let me ask you something. When was the first decapitation in a video game? Was it Mortal Kombat? Splatterhouse? Well, I tell you, Halloween, 1978 on the Atari 2600. Mike Myers can pop out anywhere. Whip out a 12-inch dildo and knock your head clean off.
Clutch the pearls, what a sneaky thing to do.
You had to buy this game from behind the counter back in the day because parents said it was too gory. Are you kidding me? This? What good's a beheading with no head? Come on, you're gonna want that head. Well, if you were looking for head, you needed to wait 7 more years to boot up Palace Software's Barbarian. The very first video game where a head rolled off a body and a little gremlin-looking fucker took it into the end zone like Madden 94.
It's in the hole!
And Gary Carr, this was the first game he ever worked on. And this was Palace Software, the birthplace of Barbarian. And Barbarian, it was something special. See, every fighting game at the time, you just won by button mashing until the other guy dropped dead. But in Barbarian, you could straight up murk a fucker at any point. Land a flying neck chop, it don't matter if he got 6 health bars or 1. He's fucking dead. You're in the United Kingdom in an arcade, and you pulled this shit off with a crowd watching? I tell you what, before you know it, you're gonna be having the best sex of your life with Miss Wales 1987. Shit I would do with a time machine and a passport. But how does this guy making this game go from head to hospital? Well, that comes down to a man named Peter Molyneux and a little game called Populous.
Populous as a game evolved rather than being designed. I think my first thought was, let's create a little world.
This is Populous, and that guy, that is Peter Molyneux.
I don't think our expectations were high, and at that time, you know, we were living in squalor.
And Peter Molyneux could be called a lot of things. A creative visionary, a scrappy entrepreneur. While some would go so far as to say he's a connoisseur of flatulence.
I like that.
Don't worry, we'll get to you, Peter. This is Populous. And at its core, it's exactly like Little Computer People. You don't control the person. Nah, you just influence the world around them. And Gary Carr fucking loved this game.
And I played it to death, and I kept playing it at lunchtime.
So when he was working at Palace Software, playing it on his lunch break, there was a studio manager named Patricia Mitchell who gave him a little idea.
She said, "Oh, you like that game? Peter Molyneux lives near you." She said, "You should just go see him." So I just popped in, and he just said, "Oh, why don't you come work for us?" I thought, well, why not?
So Gary Carr starts work as the 6th employee at Bullfrog Games. Let me ask you something. What does your PC setup look like? Well, you got a little gaming chair, couple of monitors. Well, Gary Carr's setup, when he worked at Bullfrog Games, he sat on a 3-legged milk stool, and his desk was a wooden door balanced on top of an old TV stand. And right next to it, what's that? A fireplace with a family of roosting pigeons on top of it. And they took some Mondo shits.
At the end of the day, I had bird shit all down my leg.
Bird shit on your leg? Gary, Bobby, that's gotta be brutal. I got everything I'd ever need. A nice desk, an Elsa PopCap figure. I even got my own manservant who soaks my feet in piping hot milk. Yes, good. I said hot. If I'm gonna go any further, you gotta understand who Peter Molyneux was and how he got into making games in the first place.
Well, I got him by pure and utter accident.
This guy, Peter Molyneux, got his start making video games, and I can't make this shit up.
Importing and exporting baked beans to the Middle East.
Exporting baked beans to the Middle East.
Sadly, beans aren't that popular in the Middle East.
And Peter, he's trying to pull some chicks.
I had this girl I really fancied. Her name was Camille de Kock, and I
So, Peter's poor ass is trying to pull the cock. So, what's the guy to do?
When one day, a company called Commodore phoned us up.
And Commodore? Well, they made computers.
They said, we would love for you to put your product onto our machine.
What? Baked beans?
And that's when I realized that we were called Taurus Impacts. There was another company called Taurus, spelt T-O-R-U-S.
So Peter, he's about to tell these fuckers they got the wrong number. But right before he does, the guy on the other end goes, "So Peter, you still want me to send that limousine for you?" And what do you think Peter said?
I wasn't a good-looking bloke.
He hopped in that fucking limousine and Commodore gave him 5 free computers. Motherfucker got the 6th Amiga ever made.
And from that came my first game, which
was called Populous.
And Populous was a hit. It made Peter a millionaire overnight.
Literally, going from urinating in the sink to an incredible life.
Okay, Peter, you went from pissing in the sink to living an incredible life. Sounds like some shit you'd see on a pillow in the Pottery Barn. Oh, would you look at that? But how does this guy enter the story? Mark Webley. You know this guy by now, and you know this guy. But what about this guy? Huh? Who's that guy?
I remember a friend of mine worked at EA, and she showed me a poster of all the games that they were doing, and there's one in the middle, and I thought, oh my God, what's that? That looks amazing. And she said, oh, it's a game called Populous.
So Mark is a fanboy of the game too. So he just pops over to Bullfrog.
I met Peter, I met Gary. Gary was quite a scary looking character back then. I had hair of him. He had like a big Mohican like this.
And not just Gary in a mohawk, mind you. Remember, he was also covered in bird shit. But Peter Molyneux offers Mark a job. So there they were, Mark Webley and Gary Carr in the same room for the very first time, sitting on milk crates, bird shit dripping down their leg, working for the man from the Baked Bean Company. So where do you even go from there? Theme Hospital. Gary and Mark hard at work. Peter Molyneux walks in, agitated. Boys, I have an idea. Hospitals. Gary and Mark stare at him. Hospital. Hospitals what? What the fuck are you talking about, Peter? Peter Molyneux goes, hospitals. Aren't they funny? Mark and Gary look at each other. Again, no. 1,700 people die from cancer in a hospital every day. No, you're a fucking idiot. Hilarious! You two! Have the game on my desk Monday morning. Then Peter shit himself and jumped out the window. Did it happen like that? No, but it's funny.
And that was a real, lightning in a bottle moment because
they realized a hospital ain't a funny place. So they were gonna have to make it one. Shit can be horrible for people. It really can. So why remind them of the worst parts of it?
we have to make up everything, including the illnesses and the way we cure the illnesses.
So when they started their hospital game, they knew it had to be different. Theme Hospital, a place where a young doctor could make a name for himself. Putting oversized tongues into a meat slicer. A magical place where the only food that exists of any kind are Kit Kat bars. And you get so giddy and you eat so many of them that you shit yourself to death in the foyer in front of God and everybody. Ah, Jesus Christ.
I think for us, from there on in, it shaped what we do today.
Now, I would love to come in here and tell you that after Theme Hospital, Gary and Mark got a big old pat on the back. Peter Molyneux goes, yes, Theme Hospital, brilliant. Take as many cans of beans as you'd like, boys, and make whatever game you'd like. But that shit didn't happen. Peter Molyneux sold Bullfrog Games to Electronic Arts. And Peter Molyneux took a fat-ass check. Probably because he still wanted to bone the cop. And with EA in charge, they tell Peter, hey, let's make this shit even bigger, huh?
We went from an office of 30 people into about 300 people.
Wow. So now they're giving Daddy Fat Stacks over here some orders. And he don't like it. So one night, he meets up with his buddy Timmy, and Peter and Timmy boy, well...
I'd invited a friend of mine round, who I've been working with for years and years, called Tim.
What the fuck is his body language?
And Tim and I got very drunk.
Oh my God, he fucked Tim, didn't he?
And Tim said, yeah, you should leave, really. And I said, yeah, let's write the email.
Okay, slightly less interesting. So Peter, drunk off his ass, writes in his resignation to Electronic Arts.
Dear Larry, thank you very much, Peter.
So Peter, gone. And all the other Bullfrog employees, they jump shit. And Gary Carr, well, he's standing in the rubble with his dick in his hand going, the fuck do I do now? Startopia. This time, Gary got to make his own game. In fact, he had to make a whole new fucking company to do it. But here it is, a game that asks, what if StarCraft was less about combat and more so about making sure the pigmen have as much G-rated sex as possible? In Startopia, you got a whole space station to look after. And on it, 9 separate species to wrangle. All of them got their own separate needs. Yeah, we know about you guys. You're managing everything from the power supply, prison colonies, intergalactic trade, research and development. And as you grow the space station, you're unlocking whole new wings to expand into. And you're expanding in a circle, hence the donut shape. But it ain't just one donut, it's 3 stacked on top of each other. Stop it. It's a complicated system, no doubt. But is it fun?
Yeah.
Gary Carr went sicko mode on this one. So how do you think Startopia was received? Was it lauded? Praised? Did it win Game of the Year and Gary Carr became a household name? Or did it bankrupt the company because it only sold 100,000 copies? Ah, shit. So let's go back a minute. Do you remember Peter Molyneux's Dear Larry letter?
Dear Larry, thank you very much, Peter.
And then he left Bullfrog Games? Well, Mark Webley went with him, and they founded a little gaming studio called Lionhead, named after none other than Mark Webley's pet hamster. Hey, listen, I fucking dare you to go to a pet store right now and find me a hamster with a better name than that. What's that little guy's name, huh?
That's Biscuit.
Okay, yeah, and this one down there?
That's Jonathan.
How about them two jagoffs over there? What do you think about them? Get the fuck! So Lionhead Studios, their first game out of the gate, the one they spent 4 years making. What was it? Zoo Animal Street Fighter. Will Strike. Not gonna lie, it's still better than Tekken. In black and white, you're a guy. Well, more than anything, you're a disembodied hand. You literally move the camera by gripping the ground with your fucking mitts and dragging yourself around. You wanna cast a spell? Well, get prepared to strap on that fucking carpal tunnel brace, sex kitten, because you're gonna be working your forearm like you're trying to pet your cock. There you go. That's a good boy. You're a god, right? You could be good, you could be evil, but you also gotta take care of your little pet here too. And whatever you do, they're gonna learn from your actions. Cast a water spell near some crops while your creature is looking, and he'll go, well shit, I can make it rain on them bitches all day. Feeling like a bastard? Well, give me 5 minutes with our baboon friend here, and he'll be throwing bombs like Jeremy Lamb.
Has to fire! Good golly, Miss Molly! He did it!
They do something you like, praise him for it. Give him the old rub down, and he'll do it again. But if they do something you don't like, fuck it. Beat that baboon like it owes you money. Hey, you interrupt again and you're fucking next, okay? And in doing that, Black and White does something special. Any game can give you moral choices, but by giving you a pet that tags along with you, the game ends up showing you, reflected back on yourself, through the monster of your own making. But sadly, if you want to get Black and White working on a modern computer, you might be out of luck. You can't find this shit anywhere. To do it legally, you need the original disc and a fuck ton of fan-created patches. And only after an hour fiddling with the settings could I get this thing even close to being playable. I'm gonna be honest, I was able to get Doom running on a COVID test faster than that. Oh, would you look at that? 60 FPS. Now at this point, Gary Carr, he's out of a job, but he gets offered one at Lionhead Studios, sitting side by side with his favorite white guy with glasses, Mark Webley, with maybe a little less bird shit on him this time. And Mark got a new game called The Movies. Together, they made a business management sim about running your own movie studio. And making movies is hard work, about as hard as trying to suck on Robert De Niro's nipples.
Bob does not like his nipple area paid attention to.
You could have fooled me.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Suck on his nipple. And you gotta do everything to make these movies. Writing, casting, rehearsing, filming, editing, advertising. All the while building and maintaining the movie lot that you make them on. But then on top of that, you gotta worry about the fragile egos of wannabe Steven Spielbergs, who are either on their way to making the next Jurassic Park or the shitty porno parody.
Don't be scared, Blow. I'll get you off.
There is no way this video gets monetized. It's like you're playing The Sims at a movie studio, but all your characters are jealous fucks who get pissed when their co-star gets a better trailer than them. Huh? What are you so fucking mad about? Why don't you bend over and adjust your New Balance shoes with your fat ankles? Get the fuck off my lot. Now, a lot of shit done changed around the Lionhead offices around this time, and all of it was directly related to Lionhead's next big hit, Fable. Lionhead was putting out nothing but slappers at the time. But if a game like Black and White or the movies was looking something like this, then Fable looking a little like this. And when this shit dropped, it was the second most successful Xbox game of all time. Second only to the original Halo. So, Microsoft makes Peter a deal. We think we can run it better than you can. So Peter, fuck it. He sells his company again. And let me tell you, when he got that Microsoft money, he was able to get as much to cock as he wanted. Things starting to sound familiar? So, Microsoft in charge, they go, okay, when's Fable 2 coming out, boys? So Mark and Gary, well, no more games that look like this. Microsoft only wants games that look like that. Jesus, did his eyes fucking move?
I like to watch.
And listen, Fable, fuck. In 2005, when Fable came out, it could be considered the best Western RPG ever made. It's a simple and recognizable heroic tale, but with a twist. For the first time in a role-playing game, the moral choices the player makes shape the trajectory of its narrative. We take shit like this for granted now, but Fable did it first. And then 2 more times. But I'm gonna be dead fucking honest with you. I don't want to talk about those Fable games. I want to talk about this one. The shitty Connect game that made my dog try to have sex with me. God, so Fable the Journey. Imagine Skyrim in virtual reality, except instead of almost limitless exploration, you're staring at a horse's ass for 75% of it. But the other 25? Well, you're swishing and flicking your little Harry Potter.
Stop it, Rod. Stop.
Casting spells by raising your hands up and gesturing towards the screen. And you know what? Today, there's still some novelty to raising your hand, flicking your wrist, and watching a fireball pop out. But shit, after a couple hours, my arms felt like they were gonna fall off. And typically, these are the kind of repetitive hand motions I normally reserve for the Welsh.
Woo! Man! Woo! What? You know what, Mark?
God, you're really selling it for me. But how did these guys get roped into making a Connect game? Gary Carr, he was the creative director, for Christ's sake. He's used to making things like the movie, Startopia, Theme Hospital. You gonna put the guys who made these games on this? Using the Microsoft Connect to wash a fucking horse?
Make sure you clean the penis.
Okay, some people might want to wash a horse. But that one game starts a chain reaction, which brings us right up to the death of Lionhead. So, the horse's ass comes popping out the front door of Lionhead. Peter Molyneux goes to E3 and tries to sell it. And it goes about as well as when he was trying to sell cans of beans to the Middle East. Because the only thing sadder than beans on toast is trying to dump a fucking can of Heinz into a pita. And mere days after that E3 performance, he fucking quits Lionhead. Motherfucker left faster than my dad after seeing the pregnancy results. I can't with this fucking guy. So Gary Carr, Microsoft sticks him down in the basement like Fox fucking Mulder. And he, just like all of us, just wants his Scully back.
It's remotely plausible that someone might think you're hot.
He wants to go back to that simpler time when his biggest problem was how many feet he had to sit away from the fireplace. So Gary picks up the phone and calls his girl. Listen, I need you, baby. Why don't you send me those horny texts anymore? I thought you didn't like them. You told me to stop. Baby, don't you ever fucking stop. So together, they found 2 Point Studios. And their first game, the fresh hot baby popping right out the vagoo, 2 Point Hospital. So tell me, HiTops, you really telling me I just sat through 20 minutes of Welsh girls and pig sex for this? A hospital management game? Do you even speak Welsh? Baby, I'm working. HiTops, you said Theme Hospital was a slam dunk. Theme Hospital is a slam dunk. I did say that. How is 2 Point any better? Well, if Theme Hospital was this. Oh, isn't that cute? Keep your eye on that one, folks. And 2 Point got its nuts on your forehead like, oh my God! I just got a text from Mr. Slam Dunk. It says, whoa! You're gonna have to take my word for it. Better gameplay, more diseases, the UI is better. Gary Carr was on his shit when he made this. Look at that drop shadow. Look at it. So how do you play 2 Point?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but the cancer, it's spread to your brain. There isn't much we can do.
No, how long do I have?
It's hard to say. Days, weeks maybe?
Oh, can I just ask you a question?
Yes, of course. Anything you need.
Oh, do you really have to be dressed like fucking Knuckles when you're telling me this?
Ma'am, it's time to go.
Do you know the way?
Shit is wild in this game. And with the quality of life features, Jesus Christ, it's a completely different beast. Check this out. This is how long it took to make male and female restrooms and Theme Hospital. But in 2 Point, dropping Portaloos like a motherfucking hurricane, baby. Shit, my mouth dropped so wide open I could fit 2 whole Malamars inside. Stop the madness, I love Malamar. Truly, it feels like a love letter to anyone who's been a fan of these 2 guys' careers since this point. There's a DLC pack for the game that adds a time travel mechanic, something that was originally cut from the development of the original Theme Hospital. And one of the diseases is called mucky feet. Hey, you already know about that shit, don't you? Look at this, you can pick the doctors up and wiggle them around. That's black and white, baby. Can't slap the shit out of him, though. And the first person who comes into your office, you unscrew his head from his body like a Baraka fatality. That's Barbarian. And as a special Easter egg for the real ones, if you plug in the Microsoft Connect to your computer while playing, you get this cute little error message, too.
My name is Peter, and sorry to say, but I've just chipped myself.
Peter, you can't keep living like this. But this game, 2 Point Hospital, isn't exactly brand new. It's been out for almost 4 years now and has 7 full-blown DLC packs for it. But their new game, 2 Point Campus, is it better than 2 Point Hospital? Well, that's tough to say. You gotta remember.
Hospital is 4+ years old, and we've polished it and improved it, and this is the raw baby that's just come out.
They drop patches, free updates, DLC on a constant basis for these games. In fact, in the time I was working on this video, they've already dropped 2 DLCs for Campus. So if you think Campus is nothing more than a layup now, in 4 years' time, this game gonna be like, good golly, Miss Molly! I haven't been this turned on since my last trip to Wales!
What? You know what, Mark?
But guys, I got a fucking question. You got these vending machines in your game with these weird foods, like cheesy gubbins, pulpitation, morsel man. Mark, I gotta ask, what the fuck does a morsel man taste like?
Quite biscuity. I'd say, imagine a gingerbread man, or maybe a Garibaldi in the shape of a person.
Garibaldi? All right. Well, Mark, just for you, I made one. And well, I'm sorry, I gotta apologize to the UK, but let's just say I'd rather watch 2 trees having sex than eat this shit. Gary, think I found your student film? But it got me thinking, there's a little British grocery store down the street from me. So why don't we try some of this shit out? I'd like a banger. Who wouldn't? She's nice. She's a nice girl. Banger already. Wait, are we still talking about food? Hey, you know that sound? It's time for our favorite new game on the channel, Smash or Pass. British Foods Edition. Here we go. And you boys are playing with me.
Okay.
Up at the top, Shaffer cakes. Oh shit, would you look at this little fucker? Chocolate?
Smash, yeah.
Ooh, okay. I tell you what, I would fuck that cake. Smash. All right, next up, foam shrimp and bananas.
Oh, no.
Oh, gee, what the fuck am I looking at?
They're kind of shrimp shapes or banana shapes, and they're like foamy sweets.
No.
You know what? Sometimes you bust the nut, and sometimes the nut busts you. Pass. Twiglets. Oh. See what we got here, huh?
Super smash. I would say smash, yeah.
That kind of looks like burnt toast, but okay. All right, let's see what the hype is all about. Oh, shit. Yeah, let's dip it in this Marmite shit. God damn. Feels like my taste buds are getting worked like a math problem. You know what? Twiglets got me fully erect.
I'm gonna get you some Twiglets this afternoon.
So what's the next game gonna be, boys? You got Campus, you got Hospital. It's pitch meeting time. I'm gonna rattle off a couple ideas. You tell me if they're good or not, okay? 2 Point Prison.
There's a good prison game out there, and we were gonna do a prison game.
But I think Prison Architect is so good.
Yeah, it's you can't.
All right. I think you guys could do it good, though. Next up, 2 Point Brothel.
Ooh.
Probably not, because I wouldn't show my mum that.
I guess you're right. I mean, what would that game even look like? What would you do with it? Slap bees off somebody's G-string?
Pesky bee.
All right. Last one. 2 Point Movie Studio.
We've made one of those before. Oh, they're good. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Mark my words. In the next 10 years, we're gonna get 2 Point Movie Studio. One last question, boys. Where do good ideas come from?
I think great ideas, pure ideas, come from something small. Yeah. Initially.
All around you right now, there are little people you've never heard of turning on their imagination to make the absolute coolest shit possible. Why wouldn't you want to learn about them? You know, one thing I learned from talking to these two, I think they were great on their own. But to be honest, I think they made each other better. So, you want to know what their favorite game was growing up? Shit kind of poetic, isn't it? And today, they're standing next to each other, stronger for the journey, like 2 mountains, side by side, walking down the road together that leads between them. Well, fucking A, would you look at that? You know, when I started this video, I thought I just loved the game. I wanted to tell you all about it. But by the end of it, after hearing the whole story, you know what? I think I might like the people more. One last question, for old time's sake. What do you dream about? See, behind that monitor, there's a girl putting her hands on a keyboard, about to write the next big novel. Will it happen? If she wants it to. A kid painting a picture in their room that they don't know might one day hang in a museum. They're talented. They're so fucking talented. But some nights, when they look down at the things that they make, They feel small. And you know these people. God damn, they're some of the fucking best. So what the fuck are you waiting for? Take their dreams in your hands. Look them dead in the eye. And tell them, I'm rooting for you. Always. Because maybe, just maybe, they won't feel so little anymore.